Good afternoon. My name is Rogova and I practice family law in San Diego County. In this video, I'm going to talk about uncontested divorce, what it means, what forms you need to fill out, what steps you need to take to obtain a divorce. What it means. Uncontested divorce, it means that spouses have reached an agreement. You agreed how you're going to divide your community property, who's going to pay child and spousal support, any issues related to child custody and visitation. Basically, it means that you have at least oral agreement. You are not planning to go to the court and argue your point of view in front of the judge. In this divorce process, one of you is going to be petitioner, person who files a petition for dissolution of marriage, and the other person is going to be a respondent, a person who responds to the petition for dissolution of marriage. It doesn't matter who is going to be petitioner or respondent. You have to decide. For some people, it's difficult psychologically, emotionally to file a petition. You have to decide. I assume that husband is going to be a petitioner. Husband is filing a petition for dissolution of marriage. First step, what forms petitioner has to fill out? First form is called request for dissolution of marriage. The number of this form is FL/100. The second form is summons. The number of this form is FL/110. The third form, it's called venue declaration. The number of this form is D/049. And if you have a child or children, you need to fill out forms called declaration under UCCJ. The number of this form is FL/105. Basically, petitioner has to fill out either 4 forms if you have children or a child, or 3 forms. You have to have 1 original plus 2 copies. You go to a courthouse and file these forms. The court will keep the originals, and you will get back 2 copies of each form. Second step, you need to serve the respondent, wife in our case scenario, with a copy of each form. You personally, as a petitioner, cannot serve these forms on the respondent. Anyone who's 18 years old or older can serve these forms on the respondent. Also, please don't involve your children. Even if they are 19 years old, 20 years old, don't involve your children. Ask your friend, any relatives, ask someone who is 18 years old to serve these forms on the respondent. What forms you need to serve? You need to serve, as I have already mentioned, request for petition for dissolution of marriage, summons, venue declaration, and declaration under UCCJ if you have children. Also, you will have to serve 2 blanks. One's called response to the petition for dissolution of marriage. The number of this form is FL/120. And if you have children, you also need to serve a blank of the form declaration under UCCJ FL/105. Okay, you found a person who is 18 years old or older, and that person served your wife with all these forms. Then this person has to fill out proof of service. The number of this form is FL/115. That person fills out this form, signs, and you have to file this proof of service with the court, 1 original, 2 copies. Then, step 3, wife, in our case scenario, has to respond to the petition. She has 30 days from the date she got served with the petition to file her response. She fills out the form response to the petition for dissolution of marriage that she just got served with a blank FL/120, and if you have children, also a form FL/105. She fills out these forms, she goes to the court, same courthouse, and she files 1 original, 2 copies. She files these forms, and then the court will keep the originals, and she will get 2 copies of each form back. And then she needs to serve a copy of each form on the petitioner, on her husband. Next, the next step, it's called preliminary declaration of disclosure. Basically, each party, petitioner and respondent, husband and wife, have to fill out forms and exchange them. What forms each of you need to fill out? First form is called Income and Expense Declaration. Number of this form is FL/150. Second form is called Schedule of Assets and Debts. The number of this form is FL/142. Third form is FL/140, and the fourth form is FL/141. Go to my website. I have an article explaining what forms you need to fill out, what documents you have to attach to these forms. Basically, you will fill out these forms, 4 forms. You will attach financial documents to these forms, and you have to exchange them. You don't need to file these forms with the court except one form. Only one form has to be filed with the court. The number of this form is FL/141. Each of you, husband needs to file this form with the court, and wife needs to file this form with the court. Basically, in this form you will state when and how, personally, by mail, by email, you exchange preliminary declaration of disclosure. Then you need to draft and sign, it's called marital settlement agreement. Basically, all your terms you have agreed upon, you have to put them in writing. That's going to be your agreement. You draft this agreement. I strongly advise to have an attorney, but if you can't afford it, you can draft it by yourself. You draft this agreement, you have to sign it. I also strongly advise to notarize your signatures. Okay, now you filed petition, you serve the petition on the respondent, you filed proof of service with the court, respondent filed her response to the petition, then you exchange preliminary declaration of disclosure, you drafted and signed and notarized your signatures on the marital settlement agreement. Now, what forms you also need to fill out? First form, the number of this form is FL/130. Next form is FL/170. Then, usually, people who have reached an agreement, they waive their right to ask for final declaration of disclosure. If you do so, you will have to fill out form FL/144. Then you will have to fill out a judgment. The number of this form is FL/180. Because you have your written agreement, you don't need to attach any additional forms to the judgment, to the FL/180. But when you're going to look through and read this form, you'll see that there are options to attach other forms. Read, and if you decide that you need to attach any other forms, attach them. And the last form is called Notice of Entry of Judgment, and the number of this form is FL/190. All these forms I have already mentioned you can find on court's website, which is www.sdcourt.ca.gov. You go to family subsection and you will find all those forms there. Also, what I wanted to say, there is a mandatory time frame. You cannot obtain a divorce decree earlier than 6 months from the date respondent was served with a petition for dissolution of marriage. When you served your wife, in our case scenario, with a petition for dissolution of marriage, you have to wait 6 months till you get at least 6 months to get your divorce decree. Also, for example, those forms might be complicated, people make mistakes, forget to touch something, sign something. When you file your judgment package with the court, sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it takes 5 months to process it. If you made any mistakes, you will receive your package back with a court note stating what mistakes you made. You will just correct your mistakes and refile your judgment package. That's all I wanted to tell you about uncontested divorce. If you have any questions, you always can give me a call. My phone number is 619-737-3919, or I'll leave my website address under this video, and you can find my email address there and email me your questions. Thanks so much for watching my video, and have a nice day. Bye.